as you can see, it's time for some unboxing. So please go ahead.
So it's just a small tool that the decoder department created.
Yeah,
the fact checker department, absolutely.
Yeah.
The idea is that they provided journalists at Le Monde with very simple tools to make the articles more richer. I don't know if you can say that in English actually, but for instance, you have so that's a new version. I wanted to show you the maps, but the maps are actually being rebuilt right now, so I can't show you that, but I can show you, for instance, the charts. So let me just take that so that I'm staying in the same tab.
Grumpy charts.
Yeah, Grumpy charts. It's a very easy tool that allows journalists to create charts if they have the data and put them into snippets that they can actually put in the articles without, having to ask a data journalist or having to ask a designer to create that chart. It's pretty easy. Yeah. So if I click on this one, for instance, that's a number of bikes that were seen in Paris. So now the Paris city provides us with this type of data. And so you can see the different, I don't know if you can see my mouse.
Can see.
So they design it so that it's pretty easy to put the data in it. If you don't even have to be a master at spreadsheets. You just put the data in 2 columns, and then their tool will help you verify that everything is in order, and then you can actually straight from that create the graphic that you want with the different types of graphic.
And if I may interrupt you, you did develop this internally, so it's only for Le Monde journalists, right?
It's only for Le Monde journalists, yeah.
Yeah, and was there no actual, say, no piece of software or a suite which was ticking all your boxes, because you've developed it yourself? And I know there are a lot of other sort of online tools or software-based tools where you can do data visualization as well. Do you know why you chose to develop this internally?
Well, not the idea, I think, was not to rely on, not to outsource it, so that we have something that we can put all the data that we want in it. It's secure, and that's something that is quite important. For instance, when you're working on leaks or these kind of things.
Yeah.
And it's also because that's a tool that we can improve on all the time. Like, for instance, for the live blog right now, we are relying on an external solution, and when we have problems, sometimes it takes time to get in touch with people who work for that company. So I think that's far, if you have the ability to create your own tool, you should do it, because
so it's speed, security, as you say, and maybe independence as well. It's interesting. And does it get used a lot since when did it become available to journalists?
That's a good question. Probably 2014 or something like that.
Okay.
But it's evolving all the time.
Yeah.
So let me go back. If you can see, for instance, here you have a new tab called the Enrichisseur. That's the tool I was talking about. And basically, the idea of the Enrichisseur is that at Le Monde, we produce...
Can you translate? My French is not that well.
Enrichisseur, I would say... I don't know.
Maybe the audience can help us. So put your translation in the live chat if you're watching this.
It's basically the idea that when you write an article, it's just plain text, right? But you may want to, I don't know,
probably
enrich
media,
of course.
Okay,
you may want to add video or graph or pictures or whatever. And since we produce about 250 and 300 articles per day, we tend to forget what we do. After a whole year, you feel, oh yeah, we actually wrote that, we made that video 5 years ago, and it's still accurate. And this tool allows someone to, when he's writing or she's writing an article, to say, what do we have, for instance, about Trump?
And
you can see that you have 2 videos about Trump that you can put in your
Yeah.
articles
And
and
if you say
other.
Trump and Bannon and McConnell, and you put these three words, and you might
Yeah.
filter it out to a narrow selection. Yeah.
And this tool was actually designed by one of my colleagues and put online about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's brand new and you don't have everything in it, but it's pretty useful.
Yeah, interesting. Cool. And thank you for showing us what you use
Sure.
internally.